This is Skyscraper from Action requesting fire mission danger close and grid square. Shortly, Bravo function.
Good day to my 3rd ID Infantry Division. I am Specialist Johnson. I've been in the unit for a couple of months now, PAO, and I have a very special guest here with me today. I want to take a minute to introduce yourself.
Hello, soldiers. Major LaFlash here, Alpha Company Commander. As you guys all pretty well know me, been in this unit coming up on 10 years now. A little bit further than here, than Specialist, but by all means, I know she'll make it far.
I have many plans I have for this upcoming year in podcast, and this is the first in a series of many podcasts. It'll be released on the final Friday of every month, so look forward to that. We just came across a little technical difficulties on my end, so I kind of waited a little day, but I'm going to be releasing it hopefully on Saturday night at the time of recording. But look forward the last Friday of every month. Mark it on your calendar because it's going to be there. First of all, first talking point is the holiday break. It is now over. The holiday exodus lasted for roughly 2 weeks, so people can get out and see their families. Isn't that right, Major?
That's right. It's something that we kind of went to, I'd say about 5 years ago. We used to always have it holiday exodus or a holiday break or furlough, they call it. Turns out, we gave that time off to their families, and it turns out to be actually our busiest time of the year. Per recruiting, per activity, you got to think all the kids are home from school, kids are home for college. A lot of factory jobs are closed that week of Christmas, so it becomes a very, very active time of season. So we just turned it into basically a big party or a big gaming session for about 2 weeks here.
And I must say, I am impressed that the activity did not fade at all. I mean, there were a few people that took the time to go see their families and do all the other stuff, but for the most part, there was still activities going on. There was still a lot of people on the servers, both on AAPG and on Arma 3 side. So honestly, speaking for not just biased because I'm in the unit, but I was really impressed. So
well, to be all fair, you can only take so much of grandma before you need a break. So
yeah, something like that. And now that that's over, we've got our nose back to the grindstone. We'll be starting a new operation next month now. What's the operation called again, Major?
Operation Bronze Fire is kicking off here the first week of February. We've been training as a battalion for most of the month of January here, so hope you all look forward to that. And it's going to be about, I'd say, roughly 6 to 8 months long. So it's going to be a long grind one, that's for sure.
I gotta tell you, I'm pretty excited. It's my first operation, and I'm already just biting at the nip to get in there. Go do me my little fire team leader job. But on top of that, let's move on to the next topic. We have the promotions and awards for the month of January. First of all, we have to give a big thumbs up to a big hooah rather to Captain Arthur Cantu, who just got promoted from first lieutenant to captain. Then we have a first lieutenant Lunsford, who was promoted from second lieutenant to first lieutenant. Again, a big step up for those officers up there. They take the brunt of most of the things we have going on in the platoon. But personally, I'm not on the officer side. So, Major, what do you think about that?
I gotta say, to be an officer in this unit, you gotta have everything that those soldiers have. They are pure leaders. Looking at it, I mean, each of them have years in this unit, years. And it takes a long time to achieve those, to get up into the OCS and selected as an officer. But by all means, they're the best leaders that we got.
I couldn't agree more. I've actually learned to respect the leadership that's been put above me, because normally I get kind of best friends ish, like the best friends get promoted first. But in here, I feel like these are as much of a leader as are my friends. Actually, listen to my complaints and my concerns, and I feel at home here. So let's moving on to NCOs. We have Staff Sergeant Gary Bowden.
Yep, Bowden.
And he was promoted from sergeant to staff sergeant. He is the first platoon's second squad leader. And that's a big promotion to him. And then we have a Staff Sergeant Teddy Funk. He was promoted from sergeant to staff sergeant. So big hoo-ah to him too. Also, Staff Sergeant Eric McGuffey. Eric, is that correct?
Eric, yep.
Eric McGuffey. He's promoted from sergeant to staff sergeant.
big thing with these staff sergeants here is you're looking at definitely Staff Sergeant McGuffey, Staff Sergeant Funk. Both were only promoted by adding that rocker, the rocker to the Staff Sergeant rank. But then also took on the position of Platoon Sergeant of Bravo Company 1st Platoon and Bravo Company 2nd Platoon. So they hold a humongous role. Staff Sergeant Bodwin is obviously a tremendous leader for us in Alpha Company 1st Platoon. Obviously, our senior squad leader nowadays. He does an outstanding job. So
And it's coming from Major, so you guys take that to heart. Granted, you guys, all you low-ranking people that are hearing this, they were all once privates. They were all once recruits or private trainees, and look where they are now. So all you gotta do is stick with it, and you'll get up there one day. That's
by
coming
all
from
means.
Major too. Next up on the list, 2nd Platoon was added to Alpha Company. Alpha Company, 1st Platoon has introduced a 2nd Platoon, so we are extremely excited about that. The platoon leader, the acting platoon leader at the moment is 1st Lieutenant Scott Lewis, and the platoon sergeant is Staff Sergeant Alex Kransky, who recently transferred over from the Brawlers. So we're really proud to have Kransky over here looking after us. Lieutenant Lewis is looking down on us, making sure that everything's going right. And if I'm not mistaken, you're in the process of selecting a new leader, right?
That is correct. Lieutenant Lewis is currently still acting as a 2nd Platoon leader. He's obviously our company executive officer. Lewis brings a lot of great knowledge to our Alpha Company alone, not only as a trusted advisor to myself, because trust me, it's not easy running a company, let alone also a battalion. But overall, yes, we are looking to test the water, see what NCOs have that type of mentality, as we talked about for our officer corps. It takes a special mindset, that's for sure, and you obviously have got to have a true heart. So
as you can see, just because things look like they're kind of stagnating out, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background, and just wait that next week it'll be a complete new ball game, and it's always change. People coming up through the ranks, no stagnation. So keep at it, guys. You never know. Also, we have the 3 new squad leaders. We have Sergeant Joseph Delator, which is 1st Squad Reapers, Corporal Ethan Hermison, 2nd Squad Roughnecks, and Corporal Sam Tompkins, which is 3rd Squad Diablo. I've seen these guys in action. They're a really good group of people, and I'm glad to have brothers like that on the field with me, just sharing the line of fire.
Oh yeah, by all means. The squad leaders that are selected are, it takes a outstanding fire team leader to be selected as a squad leader. Given that chance, given that by all means, it's not a leap of faith by any means. We know when they're a fire team leader, you can see who's the next squad leader just by how they lead their team, and it doesn't matter what size that they lead, fire team or squad. They're going to take care of their troops.
That sounds perfect to me. Now, next on the list, we have the server size was increased from 40 slots to 70 slots. First Sergeant Gilmore actually hooked the server up. A couple weeks ago, we had a little bit of a hiccup where the server was too small after getting that massive influx of recruits. Not many people got into FDX. So the command staff sat down and said, look, time to make a change. Server got increased from 40 to 70. So bring all your friends in because we got plenty of room to fit them in now. So that's always a good side to have.
Oh, by all means. Even looking at the new number 70, I would even challenge us that we might need to look to expand that again. Looking at these both platoons and Alpha Company alone for Arma, boy, we're reaching that 80 mark. Now, if everybody doesn't TPR and everybody shows up, we might run into that issue again. And by all means, that's a good issue to have.
That's what I'm talking about. So that's your challenge. That's your challenge that Major LaFlash and Special Johnson are going to issue you guys. Let's get that cap. Hit that cap. Let's everybody make the next operations. The whole month of February, everybody has 100% accountability. We just cap the server out. Just fill it with people. That's a good challenge to have. Now,
Absolutely.
we absorbed the 3rd Marine Battalion. I don't know much about the situation, so Major, if you could enlighten everyone about it.
Well, as we mentioned for Platoon, Alpha Company, 3rd Squad, Diablo, that was a merger that had come to us a very good acquaintance, a fellow unit commander, and now Corporal Tompkins, came to us with his unit, saying, some it's not easy running a unit by any means, and I know he took it to heart when he said it's hard, and that he knew where to go, and a lot of units that don't make it. Unfortunately, it happens, and it's extremely unfortunate when you see a fellow realism unit or a milsim unit go under. I reach out and help as much as possible, but I also extend that hand, saying, "Hey, I mean, we're always here. We're stable, and we can take you on and make you feel family." And I'm pretty sure if Corporal Tompkins was here right now, he would say, by all means, that's something that we did. We lend that hand in, we lend our hand out, and by all means, him and his soldiers came on over, took on a new squad with us, and by all means, they've been running like no other. Big call out to them this last FTX for second platoon. They had the top attendance in the squad or in the platoon of any squad. So outstanding to Diablos.
I didn't even know that. I actually fought on the field next to Diablos, and they actually did an amazing job in their reactive contact. We held the line of fire against all sorts of armaments. I think we had mortars there, and it was an enemy fire team that was engaging us from the tree line. They went around the entire tree line around the side and flanked from the rear, and then took out the hostile forces. So kudos to them. That's bravery.
Oh, by all means, it's one thing that they do well, and them being a former and well, not former, a milsim unit coming to us. I mean, they did their own training. I mean, they are high speed, low drag. That's for sure.
Excellent. To give a quick hoo-ah to Corporal Tompkins. Now, moving on to AAPG game notes. There's a couple things that seem to be changing in AAPG. I'm not really the person that plays the game the most, but I have played it a few times because Captain Cantu talked me into it. But Major spends more time in those trenches than I do.
Well, America's Army Proving Grounds. Obviously, it's been a game that the Third Infantry Division has supported since its release in 2013. Prior to that, we also supported America's Army 1 back in 2003 when we first started, when the Third ID was founded. So it's obviously a game that we hope to keep going, and as it keeps developing itself, it does have an active development team, a dev team. Some of the changes that recently came out, we had a update that came out just a few days ago, mostly a bug fix. Some people said like the sounds wasn't fixed, and I die more now, so I say it's obviously a humongous issue that they need to fix because I die way too much now, but that could just be on my end. But one of the big changes that came out in the month of November or December when the update came out was a new map called Checkout. It is an abandoned mall, and it is interesting. That's for sure. It's a flow map and it's a BDX map, so it's a 12v12, so to where the map opens up more. And when it's a BDX, it's a 6v6, and it's a little narrower. But by all means, it's a fun map, and it's hard. That's for sure.
I actually might want to try that one out because when I played, I think I played on the realism server, and there were I remember it was like an abandoned drug facility. It looked like it was like a drug manufacturing factory.
Oh yeah, America's Army has several different maps. When they first started America's Army Proving Grounds in 2013, it was more based around training type maps. Paintball and simunition, wood boards, stuff like that. You could think like a mount house. That was the way that they had it. Over the years, the past 3 years now that it's been out, or about 2.5, they really transitioned into real world type scenarios. In this case, Checkout, it's an abandoned mall to where an enemy helicopter went down with sensitive information. Well, our mission, if we were on one side of the map or on your Alpha Bravo team, what team not, you have to secure that information and get it back. So, they do more real world type maps now.
See, I might have to try that map because I haven't tried it yet. So all you guys out there that listen and never touch APG, I would recommend it. Download it. It's free. You're not losing anything. And you can keep playing with the unit. And hey, I've made so many friends in this unit. My Steam list is getting pretty full right now. So
yeah, you have that problem. We all have that problem. That's for sure. Definitely with not only our own soldier base, which we're topping 170, 180 right now in this unit. So let's hope that, at least for Steam, that you bought one game, that you hopefully don't just play America's Army.
That's what I'm talking about. But as far as APG goes, I enjoy the game. You might see me a lot more on the server. But on the armor side, the biggest issue that has come across is, I know you're familiar with this, is the no armor glitch, to where the armor that we use, that standard issue armor, turned out to be giving no armor rating and one-shotting soldiers on the battlefield. That was the biggest fix they've done.
I gotta say, all I gotta say is hallelujah, because I knew I was not dying that quickly. See, all our soldiers have an inside joke or a running joke that Major dies first every time, every time. Well, now I have my reason. That is why. All right, I didn't have any armor.
To be fair, when I first joined the unit, it's my second FTX, the end of Operation Swarmer or something, and I got in a helicopter. I was like, "Ooh, Major's riding a helicopter with me. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a blast. We're just gonna have and we're spiraling down."
Exactly. I have very bad luck, and it is well known. If there's an IED out there, my body will find it. So, I mean, it's the running joke that command staff will not let me, for definitely Operation Bronzefire. I'm back at base. There will be their goal, their mission is to kind of keep myself alive, and I'm the run gun, and I gotta be up front,
I mean,
that's
what we
the type
should
of
do,
leader.
I'm gonna put a leash on you and just walk you through the battlefield. You can step out all the IEDs for us, and that'll make it so much easier.
Oh, well, it'd help us out as long as our soldiers survive.
But that was a big fix that got updated. Then in 1.54 brought in a completely new fatigue system where you can pretty much run for a limited amount of time, regardless of what your load of fatigue is. But sprinting is still limited, and weight values got tweaked slightly to allow for longer sprint time. So you didn't fall over panting and breathing heavy after running 100 feet wearing maybe 50 pounds of gear.
That's obviously a realistic expectation. I mean, to have vanilla to where you can endless run with 100 pounds of gear on, not realistic. To have a fatigue system, I think it's vital that we do.
I agree.
And then also, you throw a little bit of sympathy out there for our weapons squads. We have 2 weapons squads that are rolling right now in Alpha Company, and they got a lot of gear on them. So I mean, we like that it's realistic, but you also give them a little bit of sympathy that, okay, well, we'll slow the formation down. You got them back there, but I mean, they're the ones that save our butts when we get into the fight.
Oh, I'm light infantry, so fatigue, I don't really feel it that much because I'm wearing next to nothing. I have my flak jacket, a couple grenades, my clothes, and that's pretty much it. All right, moving on to our next talking point, we're going to talk about the APG draft night. I know, Major, you were a huge deal, a part of it. So what happened with that whole deal?
Well, Cantu is actually our main guy that got our draft night off the boards. It is the last Sunday of every month that we like to do. So officially, it should be tomorrow, the 31st, to where we hold a draft night. It is a dodgeball style type of draft. To where we get as many people in here, not just from the 3rd ID, fellow other units out there, clans, they come join, and we pick team captains. And basically, we go down the line. All right, this person gets first pick. They pick whoever they think the best person is, and we go into a tournament style elimination. I think it's a two losses, and you are eliminated finally. By all means, it is a very fun event, and you get to mix up the teams. You're not playing with the same people. You might be playing with some people from a different unit. Not only does it build the relationship in the community that America's Army is, but it's an outstanding night, and you have a lot of fun.
I actually have to catch that because I haven't been to a draft night yet, but that really sounds interesting. Last night they had the TWL, the Team Warfare League, that I sadly couldn't get into because I had to patch and my roommate was playing a game. I didn't want to lag him out. But the Team Warfare have 4 servers running completely packed in cooperation with 3rd ID. I was impressed with that.
Oh yeah, this is something outstanding job to several of our soldiers. I know Staff Sergeant Funk, Corporal Jackman, Captain Cantu was involved in it. I know I'm missing a name or two, but we had soldiers that extremely care about team warfare, TWL. It was really big back in, prior to America's Army Proving Grounds. It kind of faded away to the wayside due to some ownership issues that we won't get into, but it's now under proper ownership, and it seems that they care again. So by all means, it's an honor that they contacted us and we were able to work out a relationship with Team Warfare and really have host their event with them, being a proud sponsor to give up our servers, and as well donate just shy of 100 or just over $100 to some door prizes that we gave out. And believe it or not, some of our soldiers won those as well. So including myself, I won a $25 or $20 gift card. So yeah, I'll take it.
See, not only do you get to go have fun with the unit, but you can at least you can get door prizes. You can get all sorts of stuff. I think the last thing that we did within the unit was the shooting competition.
Yes, during our FTX for rifle qualification, I put that out there, the top shot. I believe we gave out a $15 Steam game. So, I mean, it's little motivational things like that, to have that fun, that fun competitive edge in there, but yet still keep it respectful and, just be able to, for one, have the, what's the word,
Camaraderie.
top dog, and bragging rights and stuff like
That's
that.
right.
So.
Now you see, that's always good to have, especially to keep things sporting between everyone. I'm not sure who won that. I want to say it was Warrant Officer Frost that won that one.
It was actually tied. Warrant Officer Frost and Staff Sergeant Day, or Sergeant Day at the time,
Sergeant Day, that's the one.
were
that
the
won.
ones that came in with 40, I believe 40 out of 40, two of them, and then it was a name picked out of the hat, and officially Sergeant Day won that, and was given the $15 Steam game, but then respectfully gave that to Warrant Officer Frost. So, and then Frost ended up again outstanding. He gave it back to the unit. So officially, it was never retrieved. And I mean, outstanding leaders right there, just showing dedication. And by all means, they're the ones I want by me in the battlefield if they can shoot that well. Because I myself scored a 29. So ashamed, I know, but I qualified.
I shot a 38, so it's still qualified. But hey, we're right there next to each other. But big hoo-ah to Staff Sergeant Day now. Congratulations, Sergeant Day, again on that promotion. And Warrant Officer 1 Frost. So big hoo-ah to them. Now, Major, you know what time it is. It is time for the man behind the the man behind the rank, rather. So, what this is every month I'll be picking a C staff or command staff personnel, and I'll bring them into the podcast, and they don't have to stay like Major did the whole time, but I'm more than happy to have Major's help because I don't know half the stuff I'm talking about. But I am going to be grabbing people up here so you know who's in command of you. You know, of course, this is the favorite gun in game. This is how they like to lead. This is the formations like to run. But you might not know their name. You might not know if they're married. You might not know anything about their personal life or them when they're not on third ID. So that's what this whole segment is. And Major so graciously accepted the offer.
Outstanding. I'm glad I was selected.
So let's start really simple. So is Major your actual first name?
No, Major is not my first name, believe it or not. Although I have been a Major for coming up on 3 years. John is my first name.
So you guys heard it. You guys heard it here. John's his first name. Don't ever use it ever. Just take that as, hey, I know his first name. Well, what is it? I'm not allowed to say it's classified. Level 3.
Yep. G14 classified.
G14 classified. Oh man, I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw that. So, what's your favorite food?
I gotta say, cheeseburgers. Any day of the week, I can just grab a cheeseburger and eat it. I love them.
Anything special like on it, like bacon or?
Oh yeah, bacon cheeseburgers not so bad.
Grilled onions.
Just as no, I don't. It's funny. I was picked on when I was younger because I'd go to a diner and order a cheeseburger with the works, right? And then I'd be the kid that says, but I don't want onions, but I don't want tomatoes, and leave the lettuce off. Well, that's just basically a cheeseburger without the works, so I always got picked on.
Not much left after that.
Nope, cheese and ketchup. That's about it.
Oh man. So anyway, when's your birthday?
December 27th. 2 days after Christmas. And that's not as, I know several others that have birthdays around that time. First Arm Breen is a day before mine on the 26th, and he has the same feeling about your birthdays around Christmas. I mean, you get gypped sooner or later. Maybe as a kid it's something good, but I remember being a kid, my family or my brother most likely, most always I should say, would give me like a handheld video game, like bowling or a poker game, right? But then not give me the batteries. I'd get the batteries for my birthday. So
My parents' birthday is actually on the same day as your birthday. My parents' anniversary is on your.
oh, nice.
And my sister does the same thing. Her birthday is on December 4th, and she's like, they're so close together. You get gypped on all your presents because they're like your birthday, your Christmas right around the corner. Don't worry, you didn't get anything on birthday. Anyway, speaking of birth, you got any kids?
I do not. I have several fur babies though.
Oh, okay. So instead of tell me about that, tell me about them. What's their names? How are they?
Well,
What are they?
I have two canine dogs. One is a retired canine that actually, believe it or not, is Roxy. She's a retired canine police dog that I got from a soldier in the 3rd ID here, believe it or not, several years ago. I'd say about 5-6 years ago. First Sergeant Long at the time enlisted in the military, and he was deployed. He went through his basic training, and he was stationed in Hawaii. So for that, they had to go through and quarantine their animals for 6 months, and they didn't want to do that. And Roxy was his dog, his family pet. And well, I said, hey, I'll take her. I mean, by all means, just a working dog, just retired too out of the police force, and so I drove to Shenandoah, Iowa, and picked her up. That's Roxy. I have a rescue named Drake that we rescued this summer from a kill shelter out of California. Best dog that you can ever have. Spunky, only 2 years old.
Who named him Drake? Was that you?
Actually, it was my wife. His name in the shelter was Jake, and we didn't like Jake because I have a nephew named Jake, and I didn't want to. Naming a family pet after a family member is kind of weird. Maybe a child, no problem, but just so we went with something that was close, that he would still turn his head when you say, "Hey, Drake," because it sounds like Jake.
Hotline Bling Drake, that kind of Drake.
Yeah, that's it. Sure.
We'll go with that. We'll call him Bling.
We do have 2 cats as well, Zoe and Chase. So they just tend to hang around and bat stuff around. And then, believe it or not, we are proud owners of 2 ferrets, Marty and Trigger. And boy, are they! If you've never seen a ferret, just Google it. It looks like a cat snake in a way, but they are pure entertainment. You can come home from a stressful day and just watch them roll around and fight with each other, and boy, does it put a smile on your face.
Oh, you mean like privates?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, you sure got a little regular old zoo in your house.
I do. We used to call it the Noah's Ark because we had 2 of everything.
So you said you were married. How long have you been married?
Well, got married 7 months ago in 3 days, 4 days. July 4th, 2015, I was married. And it just so happens to be on, our unit anniversary of July 4th. So, hey, I can remember it.
That's extremely easy to remember. It's like you planned it.
That was the one thing I got to plan in the wedding. That and fireworks. So.
So, what do you do for a living? I know you're not in the Army anymore. You weren't swear, but what do you do right now?
I am a retail management. I run a chain of grocery stores called Festival Foods. So it's a grocery manager is my official title, but I supervise several stores.
So you supervise several stores in real life, and then you come home and you supervise several companies.
Yep. I like to lump it together.
Well, it keeps your hands busy. That's really it.
By all means, both are hobbies to me. I mean, if you have to go to work, then that sucks. So, I mean, you keep it fun and it's lighthearted. So,
when you were in the military, what was your rank, and when did you get out?
I got out in 2010, February 2010. I was an E5.
E5. So, what was your MOS?
I was a 31 Bravo military police.
I've heard the best stories come from you guys. Just those MPs that have the best stories I've ever heard of any military experience.
Well, they MP, military police, multi-purpose. We've been told. I mean, there's infantry base. They tend to pick on us a little bit because we have to police them. But yeah, there's some stories, that's for sure.
We'll get to those stories in a little bit. But how about the guys in your unit? Do you still talk to any of them or stay in touch?
Oh, by all means. They're the strongest brothers that you can have. You trained with them, you served with them, you deployed with them, you trusted your life with them, and there's really nothing that can break that bond. Those that have been in the military understand that as well. And I mean, I wouldn't. A day's hard if you can't talk to them. So.
I agree. I recently got in contact with a couple of my old soldiers, but yeah, good times. You remember all the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you do when you're not working in Third ID? Because it seems like you're always working. You gotta have a hobby outside of Third ID.
Well, obviously, Third ID is one of my biggest hobbies. Something I love to do and be here with everybody. But I love to paintball as well. That brings me a little bit closer to the military feel and being able to get out there and shoot some people in real life and not go to jail. So.
Oh, paintballing? What's your paintball? You on a team?
Nope, not a team. Just go wood ball and by all means, it's lay back and have some fun.
Did you name your gun?
No, I did not name my weapon. Actually, it's it's a Tippmann 98 custom, so it does well for me. I also have a whisper barrel that it makes it sound sweet when a round goes through it.
So I'm not a huge paintball fanatic, but all you paintball heads out there, those airsoft guys out there, leave a message in the comments. Tell me if that's good. Because I would just call her Tippy. That's what I would call her.
Yeah, that works. Tippy. I like that.
Yeah, call her Tippy. Heard it here. If he goes out there and gets like a famous big time paintballer,
you've been owned by Tippy.
Yeah, where did you get your name from? He's like, I thought of myself. You're gonna come right back to this on the January 30th, and it's gonna say Specialist Johnson said it first, right here. So, what kind of music do you listen to?
Well, growing up in Wisconsin as a farmer, obviously country comes to mind. My wife is not a very big country fan, so I also love classic rock. Not so much polka. I mean, I hear that, and you got to turn the radio off. But classic rock and
Weird Al did it right, so I can relate to that. I'm not the biggest country fan, but I can appreciate a couple of artists. Luke Bryan is probably one of my favorites.
I gotta say, I like mostly the military or patriotic type songs. You got Toby Keith and stuff like that. That they sing some really good American Soldier and stuff like that. That's real. It gets to you.
I can see what you're saying. So, do you have you have a bunch of fur babies? Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. All older. I am the baby of the family. I have my oldest brother is named Jody. He's a programmer. He's a software engineer. He's actually retired now. He's living. He has, oh boy, if you want to get into siblings, I have probably the most amount of nieces and nephews you can think of, racking up into the 20s. My brother Jody has a good lump sum of those. But then I have a sister, Samantha. She's a graphics design artist. She has 2 kids, is married. I have my sister Eliza, has 3 kids, or four kids, sorry. Just had Alexander. And she is a stay-at-home mom, going through college. I had a brother that was only 3 years older than me, but unfortunately in 2002, he died while serving in the military. And that's kind of what inspired me to enlist in the first place as well. So I enlisted 2 years later in 2004.
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that where the name Widowmakers for First Platoon came from?
That is true. Those that are in First Platoon Alpha Company, Widowmakers was the name of my brother's platoon that he was in, and it's kind of named and honored after him.
So you got a huge reputation to build up to First Platoon Alpha Company, so don't let us down, especially not Major.
Oh, they never do.
I can see that. So, what's a pet peeve you have? It can be anything, whether it be with the unit or with somebody does something in real life with old military. What's your biggest pet peeve?
I'm not too picky of a person. I mean, a pet peeve. There's I don't know, not taking responsibility, not living up to your own values. I guess can be a pet peeve. I see people that I know can strive to be better. Running a retail business, you run through a bunch of associates or employees that you know can be great, and I guess you can take that back to our unit here to soldiers that you see great potential in, but they don't see it in themselves yet. I mean, just being able to trust in yourself, and I see it, so obviously I hope someday you see it, and I can't make you see it. So
I can agree with that. It's just so hard that when you have like a plan with someone and they have so much potential and they just waste it, and you can see it there just right below the surface, but they just have to use it.
yeah, they gotta, I mean, I hate to use the word lazy, they just gotta embrace it, and push it.
I agree 100%. Now, what kind of guilty pleasures do you have?
Well, guilty pleasures.
PG, please.
PG. Well, yeah, I hope they're all PG. My wife makes fun of me about this one a little bit. On Netflix, back when I was enlisted and deployed or not, or I was home. My mom, believe it or not, was watching Army Wives, and I got into that show. I mean, it's all about, it's not like the Housewives or Above the Hills or anything like that. But you got, believe it or not, it was a show that I watched from first episode to the last one, and I gotta say, I like that show. I'm not afraid to say it, but it might be embarrassing to Jenna when I say it, but
You know what? I can fully stand behind that one. I've never seen the show, but I've heard of it, and always thought it was a like a L.A. Housewives or like like a Mafia Wives, that kind of thing knockoff.
no, it makes you feel a lot of being back on a military base. There's that special feeling that you get if you ever lived on house basing or anything like that. That you get a different feeling, and it hits a lot of those areas. So, and then yeah, you have the drama part, but you're just like, show me more of the combat, because they do show some of that as well in the show.
Okay, so I can see that now. But that would count that as definitely a guilty pleasure. So, what's something you could never live without? This is the one we were talking about before.
Yeah, I mean, living without, obviously my wife turned around and said hello. So obviously I gotta give her a shout out. I can't live without Jenna. Not only does she keep me stable and on top of things, or well, she yells at me a lot, but that's a wife. But other things, I mean, uh, freedom. I mean, I like to do what I want to do, and I mean, military gaming. I love, obviously. If my PC died today, I'd be heartbroken. But that's why I built another one for Jenna, so I can just go take hers. But no, no.
Just barge into
um,
the room. I'm commandeering your computer.
yep, that's an order.
That's well, she's in the unit now, so she's got to
Exactly.
listen.
See, she has to listen.
I don't know how that's gonna work out for you, Major. I don't.
It doesn't
But
end
good
well.
luck whenever that situation does happen to come up. You have my support.
Thanks.
So, what's something that's on your bucket list? Something you really, really want to do before that day?
Well, I love to travel. I mean, as we as we went to, let's see, Ireland for our honeymoon. Ireland was such a beautiful country. I'd love to get back over there, view the northern part of Ireland in the Scotland. That's definitely on my bucket list. I mean, be able to, you know, uh, travel is just humongous itself. Being able to see all the cultures. That's one thing I like about TeamSpeak here, is that you can come on and talk to people halfway around the world, learn their culture. Actually, when I was in Ireland, I did meet one of our retired soldiers. Staff Sergeant, he's retired now, but Staff Sergeant Casterly. I met him and his son Jack. He escorted us around the city of Galway, and that was very nice being able to do that. But get out there and meet more soldiers is pretty fun. I've met a few, so
That sounds completely amazing. I can't say, I don't know a person alive, at least today, that wouldn't want to travel somewhere at some point. It's always great to see that there's the world's bigger than outside your bedroom or something.
oh yeah.
So, are you a movie person?
I do like to go see movies. Actually, I just watched one earlier today. Went to the theater.
What's your favorite movie, and why is it your favorite movie?
Well, it goes back to when I was a kid. My favorite movie of all time is Major Payne, with Damian Lewis. I mean, I can almost quote every single part of that. I've watched it so much, and I mean, Jenna would say something, and I'd just break out into "Don't do it, turd," and I just start quoting some of the movie, and I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I watched it when I was a kid, and it's just something that stuck with me. And by all means, any day of the week, I can pop that movie in and watch it every time.
Why don't you do that during a ceremony at some point? Because you both are the same rank, so you could totally do it.
You now are no longer a turd. You are now a maggot.
Okay, if you ever did basic training or ever did a BCT like that, I would be the first RSO in line to be there for that. I will record the whole thing, and we're gonna make a documentary on it.
Oh, I got lots of them.
Oh, we'll talk about this more. So, are you a football fan?
Oh, absolutely. I live in Wisconsin. I mean, Packers
American
all the way.
football for my chaps overseas that call it that have another word for it, but American football. Who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl? The
Well,
Panthers
now
or the Broncos?
Broncos. Well, now that the Green Bay Packers are out of it, we won't talk about that, but it's heartbreaking, of course, again and again and again. But I'm going to pick the Panthers. Score of 34-22.
All right, I gotta write that down. 34-22. Anybody willing to take major on the bet for that? What are you willing to wager on that?
Let's see. Over under. I don't know.
Well, we'll have two. If you're off by about 5 points, you'll have one bet you have to do. But if you're off by more than 5 points, then you have another one that's a little bit more extreme.
Oh boy. All right. So if the Panthers don't lose and Broncos win, right? And I'm wrong. I will do Major Payne quotes for some of the next promotion ceremony. Oh wait, that don't work because we have promotion ceremony the 7th, so I'll have to do that for March ceremony. But if I win, that's a good question. What do I want? I'll have to come back to you on that one.
We'll take a rain check on it. We'll figure something out and maybe do a small little update in the forums and we'll make a date.
Perfect.
All right. So tell me a funny story about an embarrassing moment that happened to you. It can be real life. It can be in third ID. It can be anything.
Well, most of my embarrassing stories are brought to you by my brother, Raymond, who was 3 years older than me. So growing up with him, oh boy, I'm not sure which one to pick. There's literally a laundry list. Probably the most one. Let's see. We grew up on a farm, right? So we had cattle and whatnot. And my brother and his best friend convinced me to go swimming in the cow's watering tank, right? And so I was, I don't know, 7, 8 maybe. And so, I strip down butt naked and jump in. Water's great. It's a big old tank, like 600, 700 gallon. And well, then they decided to grab all my clothes and go throw them up in a tree in the front yard of our house. And then run inside the house and lock the door. So there I am, butt naked, trying to get my clothes down out of the tree. That one definitely sticks to mind, mostly because it was very, very terrifying. But
So instead of Major LaFlash, you were Naked LaFlash?
pretty close.
So yeah, everybody listening to this podcast can now envision Major just running naked through a field after his clothes.
Pretty close.
Oh, that actually is a good one. So one last question for you. What is your proudest achievement that you've undertaken and succeeded to this day?
Proudest achievement. I mean, we have several milestones in my life. Obviously getting married, the big one of getting hitched, buying a house. Now we're actually selling that house and moving again, but I gotta say the unit that I have here, as it is a hobby, but I mean the third ID that we built, it's not just a game to many of us in command staff. We're way above. It's more of a leadership academy, in my mind, that that we really push to get our leaders better. And I mean, we want everybody to be better than when they came to when they leave. By all means, it's definitely the work that we do here. And then obviously the gaming side of it is obviously the fun part, you know. And then you got the hobby, and then you got the hobbies hobby of actually getting to shoot people. So
Yeah, we're happy you do it because none of us would be here if it wasn't for you, uh, Krasky, Lewis, Gilmore, all you guys coming together and making this happen. Captain Cantu, all you guys.
by all means, the command staff team is one of the best. That's what keeps this unit going for the past 12 years.
Pull it to that one, Major. Pull it to that. So that is the end of the man behind the rank. It wasn't as bad as you thought now, was it?
No, going pretty well. We got get going on going.
So one more thing we're going to cover before we get done. We're going to cover the mod of the month. And this mod is actually, I found this mod not too long ago on another server I was frequenting, and it is called the Eridanus Insurrection. It's a Halo mod. I'm going to drop a link in the description of this video that I'm putting out here, but it's a Halo mod. I don't know if you saw the pictures of it, Major. Did you?
Oh yeah. You know, I'm a PC gamer. I really never got into. Well, I know Halo is also available for PC, but you know, I remember when Jenna and I first started dating. You know, I told her that I'm a gamer. She was like, "Oh, I got an Xbox 360," and you know, so we started playing Halo. She destroyed me. I mean, I am not a. I just can't do the controller stuff. So, I mean, to see that now it's for PC and I can do it in Arma. Oh, payback's a bitch.
You know what you should do is like get on a PC, just get like download the mod, get all the mods all set up, get a server, and just say, "Welcome to my world."
Well, I do that for America's Army. That's kind of the key of making her enlist. No, I didn't make
wow.
her choice.
But if you look at the screenshots, they have the I don't think they have Spartans in the game yet. They're working on those, but they have the ODST troops, they have the Covenant, Warthogs, Pelican dropships, the battle rifle, assault rifle, all that stuff. There's an entire list of things that you can go into. They have the Magnum, the rocket launcher. What is it? The M41 SRR rocket launcher. So there's an entire list of things you can do. Dropping the link down in the bottom. Again. So what do you think about this mod? Would you see yourself playing it for more than a couple days?
It would be interesting to have a fun pub night. You know, I know we do several different nights in Arma. You know, Wednesday night war games, Friday night fights with Bravo Company, which now I hear there's also Saturday night fights. But it'd be fun to get out there and have a little bit of fun with this one. That's for sure. Definitely if it comes with some maps sooner or later that it resemble, you know, those that you have in Halo. So.
Oh, that is one of the downsides. This map is only compatible with Altis, so you're gonna have to run Altis, or I think Takistan might work, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But hey, this is actually, I forgot to say the producer is Foo Hammer Studios. Foo Hammer Studios. So go on Armorholic, look at them. Link in the description. I said before, check them out. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm saying this as a person. I enjoyed the mod, so go check them out. So that is the conclusion of our podcast. Again, thank you very much all for coming, for listening to it. Thank you, Major, for coming to see us.
Oh, absolute pleasure.
And lending your voice to this recording. Now, I will be releasing this video later Saturday night. This is going to be the only video that releases on a non-Friday night. But normally I'll be shooting for Friday night on the last Friday of every month. So look for it. As always, this is Specialist Johnson and
Major LaFlash.
Signing out. Stay frosty, Third ID. Rock the main.
Oh.
Hoo-ah.